Hi, good morning. This is Jackie, my Apex Training. Today is January 4th, 2021. Thank you for joining me here this morning on our short video. And what I want to do is focus on paying it forward. I don't know how else to say this, but I'll keep it short. I actually have a weightlifting gym. It's going on year 3. One of my clients that I'm starting her off on this year has a sister that actually started a GoFundMe page for our senior and immunosuppressed veterans that are incapable of going to the grocery stores, whether it be because of transportation issues or just because of I would say it's the vulnerability issue because of the coronavirus. So this GoFundMe page was started about 2.5 months ago by Christy Hayes. And what this organization, what her agency does, and she's has a collaborated effort with I guess a restaurant or a kitchen nearby in Woodland, where they actually will make a handmade nutritious meal for a vet. So for $20 a week you can provide a delicious meal for our veterans being over 65, and because of their immunity being hampered, it's unsafe for them to venture out to the grocery store. Even then, consider the transportation issue too, whether especially with the wet element this time of year. And so we actually have one of our podcast guests that we'll be featuring in the spring, Mike Bergner. And I asked him, I said, hey Mike, this is kind of like our fee for you being our guest, and let us know like if you're interested in joining us. And he was so gracious and so generous. I can't even begin to tell you this, but he said, you know what, I really don't want the money, but maybe if you have a charitable cause you can donate it towards. I'm not sure if you do that. And I'm like, yeah, we do that. As a matter of fact, we did that last year. Apex Training donated to the Sacramento Food Bank. We also donated to a foundation to help with research for finding ways for our autistic children to be able to function better through treatments. That was the request of one of the other podcast guests. And so anyways, not to get sidetracked, we're at this point right now where with this fundraiser, Christy is at about 16,500. The goal is 20,000. And again, $20 will feed one veteran for a week. And I know that we are strapped for cash. And I can only bring up this scripture that I have, this verse. It's in Mark 12, verse 42. And I'll read it verbatim. And it says here, it's basically about this widow, super poor. So after the Pharisees, all the rich guys kind of threw in their money and making a big to-do about it, so it's almost like they were heard and they were seen by others, how much they plunked in the offering plate, right? This is what this lady had to offer. It was basically, then one poor widow came and threw in 2 mites, which made a quadrant. Now, a mite is like 1/8 of a cent, and a quadrant is like 64 of a denarius. A denarius is a day's wage for a full-time person. I'm not sure exactly what, I'm not a theologian, so I couldn't tell you that, but it's like, in modern day terms, it's probably pretty dirt poor. So here it is, this lady didn't have much to give at all, and she gave all that she had. Now I'm not asking you to like write an entire amount to help donate towards Christy's cause to help feed a vet, but I'm challenging you, I'm asking you if you wouldn't mind, like even if you can't do $20, do 10 or something. So if we can get like 317 people, I did the math, don't stereotype, but I guess, I like math, I'm Chinese, I don't know. So if we get 317 people to donate $20, she'll meet her goal, 20 grand. And this will feed vets for several months on end after whatever they've had. So, kind of think about this. Could be your uncle, your grandpa, your aunt that's kind of dealing with chemo because of her breast cancer. So, when you give something to someone, it gives right back to you. There's nothing that's really measurable in that value of helping another human being. So, there's people that are doing better than you, there are other people that are doing worse than you. But sometimes when we take our mind off ourselves and kind of help somebody else, it is actually a benefit for our soul. So with that said, please click onto the link, help out a vet today. Our neighbor when I was telling him about this thing that I was doing through podcasting, and the guest was donating his money towards, he was asking like maybe if we can do the Wounded Warriors Foundation. I said, well, what about this? What about this fundraiser to help feed the vets? And he says, yeah, sure. And I was telling the story to my neighbor, and he said, let me help your cause. And he hands me over a Benjamin. I'm like, what was it? This is a C note, bro. So, and he goes, and this one's for you, Carl. This one's for you, Mike, and Christy, and our vets. Know that this weightlifter right here, Jackie Ma, loves you, and don't let anything stop you from doing what you're meant to do. Sorry, I had a little emotional moment, but make an impact. Help out another soul today. Thank you for joining me here on Apex Training. Jackie Ma. All right. Stay safe out there.